When I was in high school, I used to have stage fright. I remember standing in the middle of class, knowing the answer to the teacher's question, but didn't have much courage to speak my mind. Joining the beauty pageant was such an opportunity, and although I still had stage fright, I went on to the auditions. When I was asked actually by Mrs. Araneta, what do you want to accomplish during your reign? And I said, I'd like to help people. Because it was God's call, I ended up winning the pageant. Another time my courage was tested was during the time when I had moved back from Hong Kong and had a number of investments. During this time, I was in partnership with a girl who was teaching cash flow and inviting people to invest in properties. I just trusted this girl. I had another friend who's privy to her transactions and told me and a few people about the scammers' mismanagement of the funds. The scammer used my name to invite a whole lot of people to invest in property. I was afraid to face the truth, but because there were a whole lot of other people that were involved, I felt like I have to stand up against this girl and do what is right. My friend and I, who was a whistleblower, and a couple of other partners that were also victims of this lady, put our efforts together, reported her to NBI, and then investigador, and then put her to jail and filed a case against her. I was able to be a part of standing up, not just fighting for our own rights as investors, but also to fight for the rights of those who bought the property, those who were banking on their security because they were hoping to live on those apartments and pass it on to their children. And for a lot of Pinoys, for them it's security. Before I met the Lord, I was prideful and boastful. I had many other gods, and one of my gods was the love of money. Another god was attachment to being a celebrity. Each time I'm faced with another potential Miss Universe winner, being the first runner-up, I always feel threatened. I'm being honest. For me, it's always very hard. I have to die to myself to be willing to support the one that representing our country. And that for me is very, very challenging. And yet each year it's being threatened. You know? I've admitted this to close friends, but I've never admitted this publicly. I'm always afraid every year, but really by the grace of God and not of my own, where I always given the chance to face this fear and support the one who is representing our country in order for our country to win. And my prayer every year is that God's will happen to this girl. That she will win and God's will happen to her. Dying to my pride, dying to myself. That's the latest courageous thing I had to face. For anybody watching this video, is that we will all learn how to face our fears. We are all humans, and we all have weaknesses. My particular weakness is my pride. God will all give us the grace to face our fears and die to ourselves so that God's will prevail. Praise God.